Hey, what is up everybody, Bladecifer here, and today I have for you guys another video of Black Clover Mobile. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about how to obtain talent materials, as well exactly who are some characters that you guys could possibly be using them for, and things of that sort. So now that we're going ahead and diving into this here, I want to say, I hope all of you guys have been enjoying a lot of the content. I've been seeing a lot of course, support going into the videos, and I gotta say thank you guys for all of that. It's been absolutely amazing. And for a lot of you guys who are new here, hopefully you guys stick around as well and hit that subscribe button for more. But before we get into the video as well, I kind of did this video earlier and it found out that my audio on OBS actually swapped my output from my mic to something else. So I had a whole video that just straight up just went away, which kind of sucked. But we're gonna go ahead and actually just try our best to redo this a little bit here, and I'm going to continue telling you guys exactly the best things to go for. But all right, so as all of us do know, we know that at least talent skills are absolutely important here, especially for skill upgrades on certain characters. These skill upgrades can immediately give you some extra buffs that can actually make your character way better depending on the unit themselves. Now, for example, we take Mars here, which is one of the few people that I actually am using quite often here, and this character is mainly because he has at least a lot of his taunting. He has a lot of course his what is it called, a lot of his immediate like his stun and things like that, and those are the things that are really, you know, kind of pushing a little bit around with this character that you're going to need a lot of skill upgrades for. So immediately off bat, when it comes to Mars here, he was one of the first few people that I do recommend on getting the skill upgrades. So as you can tell, we do have a level 5, another level 5, and a level 4, in which as you go up the skill upgrade side of things here, you can get at least time activation rate and things of that sort. Now each of these skill upgrades always will take some of these guys here as well as the materials, which can make things a little bit harder, but overall it is worth the time here. Mars is definitely one of these units that of course if you wanted to upgrade, it would not be a bad idea, but there are other choices as well. Another good choice if you guys decided to actually upgrade your skills for could be very well Asta, because if we go ahead and take a look at all 3 of his skills, which none of them are bad actually, all of them give him a superior amount of just skill attack here that can help you knock out a ton of people. But the only issue as usual is of course, so where are we obtaining a lot of these skill upgrade materials here? How of course are we going to get these guys in order to upgrade Asta themselves? Well, don't worry about that, guys. Of course, we are immediately getting into that right now, in which majority of these skill upgrades can actually be obtained pretty easily. Now, to go ahead and get into one of the places that you can get this, and one of the most obvious places you can get these guys pretty much, is going to be in the normal challenges here. Now, if we go ahead and check out Hall of Illusion, Hall of Illusions actually give these guys out, I want to say every at least 5 stages, in which you get more and more, of course, as you go up the stages here. As you can tell, if we look at 65 here, we get 2 of these, 3 of the regular ones, and then 4 of the actual base ones immediately. And you slowly get more and more of these as you keep going. Now, with this in mind, of course, you only get a set amount. So, of course, you want to make sure at all costs, whatever you are doing with this character, or at least with these actual materials here, you are using them on a character that absolutely is worth it. So try not to waste them on SRs that are probably not fully worth it, or SSRs that are probably not fully worth it as well. You want to be kind of at least conservative on what you're doing with these here, because there really isn't too many of them that you can get from Hall of Illusions itself. Don't worry about that just yet. There are other places that you can get this, in which actually can go and go kind of hand in hand with Memory Hall / Bond stages. Now, from doing Memory Hall or Bond stages here, you end up getting these little medals depending on which world you're on. Each world has a different world currency here, and which is very much so important to get more of our at least skill upgrades themselves. So if we go ahead and take a look at the source here, you're actually able to use these guys at the Saucy Village here, in which this one immediately is actually amazing to do so. The reason that you're going to mainly be focusing on these guys is because if we go ahead and go to the village to actually exchange these guys, every world will have an actual shop vendor. The only one that should be possibly be missing it, at least for now, is going to be World 5, and that's because we have not gotten the update for that so far. But as you can go through at least each shop vendor, or at least each world, you will have a shop vendor that will be able to exchange these metals for other goods here. And one of these goods are actually talent materials. Now, these talent materials, of course, you do want to make sure that you're getting every month because they do refresh every month here. I've already gotten at least the basic ones here, in which you unlock at level 0 of a world. As for the 2 and 3 ones, you actually unlock these by getting up your world to level 1 and then level 2. Now, as I did say before, they are obtainable inside of the patrol stage areas. So of course, if you're doing these type of patrol stages and things like that, you are gaining them per each clear. So surely do remember that. But if we go ahead and take a look into Kika Village here and go ahead and visit one of the actual one of the vendors here, we will actually end up seeing that they offer these quite often. So let's go ahead and auto go over here, and at every last village that you guys want to go to, you will have these metals, of course, available. Each of these villages are going to have these absolute upgrades here. So you want to make sure at least every month you're trying to get the minimum amount of at least skill upgrades here, or at least metals, in order to exchange each of these guys out. Now, once again, they are only for a month, of course, so surely be sure to knock these guys out. But that won't be your only at least plan to continue getting these guys off bat. There's actually a couple others. Now, going ahead and going to the next way that you can actually obtain these sometimes is going to be through events here. One of the events that's currently out is actually the dice event, in which you can get some of these basic ones here. Now, of course, it's not always going to be constant, so you do want to try and land on these sometimes. But at the same time with this here, it's not going to be a major turning point. There are going to be other events that give you a lot more of these, so surely do look out for these. An important place that you're going to get a lot more of these actual talent upgrades here is also going to be in limited challenges here. Now, currently we don't have it, but eventually we are going to be getting the Golem raid that's going to be most likely coming a little bit after Noel raids leaves us here. The Golem raid will have an exchange shop, in which will be located in the shop selection here, right underneath the exchange center, in which by doing this here, you can get yourself talent 1 upgrades, skill upgrade 2s, and skill upgrade 3s. These are going to be something that you want to at least immediately exchange out. As well, there is a SSR universal dupe that I will actually go over in a different video. That's going to be very important for a lot of you guys who are free to play, or any of you guys in general who are exactly wanting to obtain these said items. So surely do look out for that, as well as an actual place that free to plays are able to get these talent materials. Now, of course, you can get a little bit of them from some of your things here in the advanced section. It's not really many of them, but it still counts. So be sure, of course, to get those out of there. But the last place that you're able to obtain these guys fairly often is kind of easier than you may think, or at least closer than you may think. I wouldn't say too easy, because the main thing that is barred by it is Arena. Now, Arena is fairly interesting when it does come down to things here, and that's mainly just because Arena is not too easy to go by. Now, if you go ahead and actually check out the Arena info here and immediately check out the leagues here, in the upper league, you're actually able to get these weekly here, stacking on a decent bit of these every week, being able to actually upgrade a decent bit of skills. This is probably the one thing I have to say is going to be the hardest thing to actually utilize when it does come down to at least I want to say the skill upgrading process here. But if you're able to at least reach champion and stay in champion by each week, your gems of course are going to stack up a little bit more, as well as just your overall amount of those talent materials. So surely be sure to do that, especially if you want to be able to get a lot of your character's talent skills up. Now, with that all being said and done here, those are all the ways you're able to obtain skill upgrade materials here. If I ended up missing one of these, be sure to tell me down below. Pretty sure I named them all, unless I'm being a little bit of an airhead right now. But without further ado, you guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, smash that like button and smash the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys next time, and hopefully you all have a wonderful day. Peace.